Good morning. It is me, Pearl, from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine sides of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want things to change, we have to look at the energy inside of ourselves and shift that energy respectively. We're going to come here typically thinking about a specific person, but just remember that that person is simply reflecting back your own energy to you. So if you want to see shifts and changes in the person, then if you're here, let's say you're here as a masculine, you feel like you identify strongly in masculine energy. When you hear the feminine side and you hear the things that the feminine has to work on, you want to find those places inside of self where you have intersections and then work on those things in yourself. That's how you heal the wounds that you have that keep attracting people with matching wounds. Okay. So that is how it works. If you would like to book a personal version of this reading, the link is below to the exact type of reading that you would need to book on my site. There's also all the possible links you could ever possibly need in there. And today's messages. I typed in what songs I did. It's a wonder. Okay, I'm also starting the readings now with a focused card that will help us to understand how these messages are serving for the highest good, so that when we ask ourselves how to behave this week, or we ask ourselves how do we go after the things that we desire, how do we center back to what is for the highest good? And the theme for today is the Two of Cups, and it says love. So we're learning about love. This is how the messages that we hear today, they should inspire feelings of love, understanding of love, compassion. And the Two of Cups is about physical manifestation of the union outside of self. So right now, the divine is saying that the physical union between two individuals with matching energy is for the highest good, which is nice because that's usually why we all come here, right? Because we wanted to get into physical union. So right now we're being told this is for the highest good. Okay. Great. Where do I put this card now? Here. I'll put it there. And then forget about it later and be like, oh, the Two of Cups. I'll say, okay. So we're going to start with Divine Feminine today because she showed all but one card. So she's really got a lot to say, or wants to get it out of the way. One of those two things. Probably the latter. Okay, so let's begin with the headspace. So we're doing the divine energy check-in. We do all the headspace first, and then we check the headspace with the heart space. Hey, look what divine feminine is thinking about all the time. So annoyed to see this because it's so true. And for me personally, having done a release back on the 8th of October, I guess, so it's been a minute, it frustrates me that this is still on my mind so much. And I feel the same kind of frustration from Divine Feminine. She's like, okay, like I have other things I could think about, for Christ's sake. It's just really frustrating. And that's being confirmed by the niggling feeling, which is the Page of Swords in reverse. So she's like, I am not checking his social media. I am not looking at him. I'm not trying to find out what he's doing or where he's going. Like, I don't care, but I do care, but I don't care, but I do care, but I don't. Right? Because this is the top of the deck, which is the overall headspace, and the bottom of the deck, which is the underlying, that underlies all her thoughts and decisions. She's like, don't check on them. Don't check it. Do not stop doing it. Don't do it. She's really trying to fight the curiosity she feels about what's going to happen with the divine masculine that she's been focused on for a really long fucking time. So she's just frustrated because the first thing on her mind today is love, the Ace of Cups. The theme for today being the Two of Cups. She would like to bring her cup and see another cup reflected back to her in that eternal dance, right? That's what she wants to see. She's focusing on her self-love. And she's filled her cup up, because this is in the past placement for me. So this is what she's done. She's filled the cup up. The divine has inspired her to do this. It's brought her a lot of peace to come to this understanding that you have to feel filled up inside. You have to fulfill your own needs to see this reflected back to you. But she's like standing here holding her cup. And she's worrying. My phone says, it has a painting on it that says, I don't worry anymore. I keep seeing it there. And I'm like, if only that were true. She's still worried. What is she worried about? She's worried that she's not going to be able to come into a partnership, that she's not going to be able to collaborate or do teamwork with Divine Masculine. And I also think that she's worried about not being able to do the career that she's always wanted to do. There's some fears there about her being like, well, guess this is fucked too, because these things were all tied up together. And so like stepping away from one thing is causing her to like assess another. And she's like, well, I guess it's just none of it's gonna work out, but at least I love myself. But it's true though. At least she does love herself. And the thing is, that knowledge is what's holding down the fort for this union that she's wanting to bring in. She's a couple different things here. She's like, I want to have fun, I want to celebrate, I want to come into union. I'm wanting to share from the cup that I have. She's definitely, I think, really working on her friendships or her connecting with others, not just a masculine energy, but definitely with other energies. And there might be other energies. She might be dating. She might be starting to see a third party. There could be someone else. That might be why she's worried. Or maybe she's worried to get into any collaborations because she doesn't want anything to disrupt the union. You just kind of got to feel out where you are on that spectrum. But she's definitely working. She's working a lot. I'm working a lot. I'm like raising a puppy and doing a lot of readings. Like yesterday, I did a lot of readings. And then after doing readings, I was like, should I go do more readings? No, you should not. But I'm not working on music, right? Not at all. The only time I work on music is when my bassist comes over on Wednesdays when he's scheduled to come over and work on music. And like I did a little bit on Thursday. If someone else is involved, I'll do it. If I'm by myself, I'm like, I'm not going to fucking do it. Because I feel incredibly discouraged by it and heartbroken. So I don't want to do it. I feel emotion coming up even thinking about it. So Divine Feminine is really worried about her ability to achieve union, to have fun doing the work that she's wanting to do. Like maybe it's not fun anymore. My album is about my twin flame journey. So every time I work on it, I'm like, great. I was picturing this being heard by the person that I wanted to be with. And instead, it's just about them and I'm alone. And the next card that's coming up for the Divine Feminine is the Two of Pentacles. And there's a lot of pentacles here, feminines, very focused in the material right now. And this is what is clarifying this Three of Pentacles up here. So for some feminines, there could be juggling multiple parties. Not for me, but for some who are lucky enough to have that. I don't know, is it lucky? But anyway, some are juggling multiple parties. Some are juggling work and fun, play, and working hard and playing hard. And some are trying to balance taking care of themselves with working, because there's this trying to establish this solid foundation. Because if there's no Divine Masculine, who else is going to do it, right? I got to do it. It's got to be me. So divine feminine is like, okay, no masculine, I'll be the masculine. And so she's juggling now the two sides of self, balancing head and heart in her own head, which is great. But she feels imbalanced. She's feeling like there's not love, so she's focusing on the material. And I feel emotion coming up for her about that. Top of the deck, overall feelings of her heart space. Hey, look, clarifying the Emperor in the head space is the King of Swords. And it's the one that doesn't look friendly, like you would want to have any kind of type of relationship with either, because he looks terrifying, actually. And divine feminine is feeling this is how her masculine appears to her now. Like, just kind of like if she thinks about him, which she's doing constantly, it's about how he's not talking to her, how he didn't do anything, how he didn't say or communicate anything. He just went about his business, and how he's hiding from her because there's a mask on here. What's interesting is that the King of Swords typically brings truth and directness, but this King of Swords has a mask, and the mask inside he appears hollow. So divine feminine is like, I think it was a mask. I think the mask he was wearing was his love for me. I think all this time I thought, no, he's masking his love for me. No, maybe the mask was him saying he loved me. Maybe inside there was no love at all. There was only love of the material or the idea, but not actually me. So she really feels that this masculine has completely emotionally detached. Guess what she has to do in order to survive? She has to emotionally detach and go into the world of the material world and just deal with the material. You know, it's like, okay, 5:30, get up with the pup, take the pup outside. Okay, come upstairs, make the food. Okay, make my coffee. Okay, do the work. Okay, take the pup again. Okay, just don't have to feel a lot. Don't have to feel a lot, because if I feel, will I recover? There's that part of her that's completely detaching from the feelings she has about this person. That's the only way she will survive. Because her wishes are still out of reach. And what's really interesting is that this star card has this spirit diving towards this, like, it's like following their dreams, following their wishes. And when we see it in its reverse, it's like pulling her away. So this is not a card when it's in its reverse that's about losing hope so much as it is being desperately hopeful, desperately hoping for something working out. Hi, sunshine. I see you there. I'm not waiting on anybody, honey. I'm not waiting on anybody, but I'm not juggling. I mean, waiting is, I don't want to be in a state of waiting, because that's the state you're in. So I feel like if you are waiting for somebody to figure themselves out, don't do that. Do not do that. You work on you and be open to any possibilities, because what if you're supposed to have a karmic experience before you come into union? Or what if this person never, because this person has free will, right? You have free will to choose to wait, right? Your person has free will to choose to never heal. So you could be waiting for them to do something they are never intending to do. So I would recommend, if you are in a state of waiting for your person right now, to get out of it. And the way that you get out of it is you ask yourself, what will I do when I get together with my person? I'm going to do the yoga class that I'm always telling myself I'm going to do. Oh, my life with my person is going to be, I'm going to eat like smoothies every day. I'm going to go for long walks in the evening. I'm going to go on dates. I'm going to do this. Do all of those things. Like, you don't have to jump into any other relationships, but go do all of those things. And if you meet somebody and you feel something, you do not wait for the person. You just go. because the universe is not sending you things for you to say no to unless they seem to be a test. Like if the person that you call in doesn't align with the things that you are very clear about because you've done the work to set clear intentions, but you don't have interest in anyone else right now because you're still attached. So you have to release the attachment. As long as you remain attached to this energy, waiting for the energy, no one else can come in. Not even that energy, because you're in a state of attachment. So you have to let that go. We'll talk about it. All right, let's get back into the heart space. This is what you're wanting to cultivate, self-love, right? The only person you're waiting on right now, really truthfully, is yourself. Like you're saying to yourself, I'm waiting for this masculine person to step up and do what I want them to do. Well, what you're really waiting is for yourself to step up and do what you really want to do. And there are things that you're not maybe in tune with yet that you don't know that you're ignoring, or you do know exactly what you're ignoring, like your record that you're not making. And there are reasons for that. Why? I don't have interest in making my record right now because it's tied up in that experience, right? So you find the ways that you can intersect with your person, whatever you're waiting for them to do, go do what they're not doing. And that doesn't mean like if you're waiting for them to come talk to you that you go talk to them. I used to make that mistake a lot when I would hear readings. I'd be like, oh, I'm supposed to talk to masculine. No, you're not. You're supposed to find people in your life that you are withholding from and go and communicate and express to those people. And there's definitely somewhere. So this self-love card right now is really fascinating because it is being clarified in the heart space by the same card that was clarifying it in the head space, the Knight of Swords, or that was right next to it in the head space. So it's literally surrounded by this, the Nine of Swords. So we are releasing our fears and anxieties. So Divine Feminine is using her self-love to help relieve the pressure she's put on herself to find another love, which is probably also, Sunshine, why you're not having interest right now. You're probably not having interest because you are healing and focusing on the self, but you could also still be attached. So you have to suss that out. But the feminine energy here, she isn't that worried about receiving love from the divine, about taking care of herself right now. What she's worried about is partnership. That was in the head space. But in the heart space, she's no longer afraid to meet her own needs. Like she's no longer afraid probably to say no to others. Like those things that she used to be worried about, she's no longer letting those things prevent her from loving herself. You know, like being worried that if she said the wrong thing to masculine that he wouldn't love her anymore. She stopped doing that. She's like, no, if I say something to my masculine and he stops loving me because of that, then clearly we were not on the same page, and I did myself a favor by identifying that. So some of those anxieties are gone, and she's feeling more capable of being who she is authentically. And the worries and concerns about partnership, they're being healed. But it's very exhausting. She's persevering through it. This is a Nine of Wands energy. She's persevering through it. She's doing it on her own. She's doing it independently. Masculine is not helping her feel better about the situation. He's not helping her feel like his love is eternal at all. He's not. She's having to figure out that is something that you feel within, and that there is no external validation that is necessary for a connection like that. It is something that shines from within, right? The star that you're seeking outside of self, it's really inside of self. And that's what Divine Feminine is learning to help heal the wounds that she's receiving from these constant thoughts and worries and concerns that there is no love, that there is a lack of love. The Three of Pentacles in reverse is being clarified by the Ace of Swords. So for the feminine energy, we definitely have a feeling here of the truth hurts. Like the truth it's like killed something, but it's brought about, like, I thought that was a dove. It's a cute little mouse with a crown, actually. So it's like this mouse, this small mouse, had the ability to kill whatever was plaguing them by using just the truth. Like the truth itself was enough. So I think Divine Feminine is feeling like the worries she has about the 3D manifestation of what she wants, she's realizing that she needs to get new ideas about this. That the reason she doesn't have this, and this is what hurts, is because she doesn't believe she can. And that's like the truth hurts kind of thing, because it's like, I'm doing this to myself. I believe that this can't happen in some way, maybe even in a way I can't quite articulate, maybe even in a subconscious way. And I'm hurting myself this way. And just these little thoughts, like it's not even like a big thing. It's like a little thing. Even those little things have the ability to keep me stuck or imprisoned here. So she's learning that lesson so that she can, I shit you not, come into union. There's the 3 of Cups clarifying the 3 of Cups. So to have the union cards be the union cards is kind of amazing. So she's trying to see new ways, new ideas, have new thoughts, release the old thoughts about how she can come into union, maybe about who she comes into union with. This 8 of Pentacles is being clarified by the 9 of Cups in reverse. So she is really working on her wish fulfillment. We see her here struggling with it, but she's working on it. And she's understanding that what she wishes for is to see an expression of the things that have been hoarded, selfishly guarded. So she's trying to work out, okay, what am I hoarding? I know for me that's my record, and I have a date scheduled to go back into the studio, I think next week. So I'm taking baby steps to do that, but it's hard for me because I don't honestly want to pay for it anymore. I feel very emotionally detached from this creation because it has broken my heart already. So Divine Feminine is really working hard to discover how to fully express and let go of anything she's been kind of selfishly guarding. Even selfishly guarding our memories of someone is a type of a hoarding. This 2 of Coins, this is being clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. And such an interesting image. The Ostara Tarot, it's gorgeous. It has a beautiful cards. And the Wheel of Fortune is about cycles. It is about change, destiny, and time. And Divine Feminine is definitely working in the material a lot. And I think she is experiencing good fortune, financial abundance coming to her. But I feel that what she's really hoping for is that the divine timing will finally balance things out. Let me see. Sunshine, you're saying, I have a lot of things. I did make a list of stuff I need to do, so I think it is a step in the right direction. Yes. If you are waiting for somebody, start doing something for yourself, and you'll see major changes happen. All right, so let's go now over to the Divine Masculine headspace. Let me flip his cards over here. Okay. Ho-hum. All right, Divine Masculine, not feeling so good. We've got the first thing on his mind, or well, the overall feeling of his headspace is the 4 of Wands. This is the Housewives Tarot. It is in reverse. This is what he wanted to give Divine Feminine. He wanted to give her the sacred union. He wanted to give her a house. He wanted to give her, let her just kick her feet up and not have to work so hard anymore. He wanted to give her the good life, but it's not happening. And it's not happening because of commitment issues. And how do I know that's true? Because the niggling thing in the back of his mind is commitment issues. These are the same card. This is the major version of this minor version. This is the daily life. This is the spiritual state. So he's afraid to commit to the feminine because he's afraid he can't give her everything she wants. Boring. So sick of it. And he's afraid to commit to her spiritually because he hasn't quite learned some of these lessons. There's also probably a rigid authority belief system, some limiting belief system that still has a hold over him. It's exhausting. I'm feeling this 9 of Wands in my heart space right now when I look at this, because I'm like, really? Self? Really? This is still a fucking problem for you? Can you figure this out? All right. The first thing on his mind is, not surprisingly, a pissed off feminine. This is the Queen of Swords with a pair of shears nipping that right in the bud right now. And this is what has happened. This is in the past placement. Divine Feminine was like, hey, since you still have commitment issues and an inability to come into a union with me, into a sacred union with me because of whatever, maybe you have another situation that you're still releasing, some kind of a karmic situation, a past marriage, family things, whatever it is. But whatever it is that's keeping you from me, I don't care. I'm cutting you out. But I'm not even going to be nice about it because I don't feel like you've been so nice to me, right? That's how he is thinking about feminine right now. Because he's kept her weight. And look at, this is how it feels. She feels bad. She feels drained. She feels exhausted. She feels frustrated. And the 2 of Wands, another twin flame card I should add, is about asking for something and waiting and not knowing how it's going to happen and kind of planning and strategizing, even though you shouldn't, because really you just need to wait and let it happen. Divine Feminine in this state has blocked him. So she's like, okay, well, if you're going to keep me waiting, then I'm not talking to you. And he really, really wants her to stop doing that. This is the 2 of Swords. He wants her to unblock him if she's been doing that, or to allow him to know what's going on. He doesn't want to be blind to what she's doing. And he's feeling very, very defensive. This 7 of Wands is so interesting because it's showing toothbrushes cleaning a toilet, which is just, gross. And it is underneath this Queen of Swords. So this is the masculine energy being like defending himself. He's like, you don't understand what kind of mess that I'm having to deal with. I'm having to stand my ground against. I'm having to clean up. It's like, it's awful. It's disgusting. I don't want you to know about it. And that's why I'm defensive. I also think he feels like he's treated the feminine like shit. And that's why she is so incredibly defensive against him. And then we have the 2 of Pentacles, but it's in reverse. There's a lot of decisions in Divine Masculine's side. And it looks like decisions being made, okay? He asked for the Divine Feminine and he's had to wait for her. He's made a decision that he will stand his ground, that he will clean up these messes that have prevented them from balancing and from coming into union. He's choosing to actually stop juggling whatever it is, work and feminine, or multiple parties, or his belief system with her, like whatever it is. He's choosing to stop doing the juggling because he cannot bear the sadness that he has caused the feminine. And he's wanting to be optimistic that she will allow him to bring her this Two of Cups that is the overall theme of the reading. And then the heart space. Top of the deck, overall feeling of the heart space is the divine feminine in the Knight of Wands energy. It just was 7:55 on the clock. Now I said that correctly because this is a feminine energy who is taking the Knight of Wands energy. So divine masculine right now feels like divine feminine is in this energy. Now she's not in her shadow, so we're not seeing her, being a player or being like in sexual energy. But I think we do see her as being sexually charged. Divine masculine is aware that divine feminine has sexual urges and needs that she has been restraining. I feel he's done this, he's emulated this himself. Like he has wanted to be in player energy but has restrained it because he's modeling this behavior. I also feel that divine masculine is swept off his feet by the feminine, that this is what makes him feel tongue-tied and nervous and unable to really articulate or express, is that she is just I don't know, stunning to him, and he gets swept up in her. The underlying niggling feeling is the Fool, this new beginning. And I believe he wants a fresh start, right? After a past failed marriage, potentially, or if there was a long-term commitment between the twins and they separated, he wants to be able to return to a union again. But he wants a fresh start. He wants divine feminine to welcome a fresh start. And he's feeling this need for her to have this beginner's mind. Now, this is crazy because this Queen of Swords is being clarified by the Seven of Wands, and it is, again, from the heart space, clarified by the Seven of Wands. So divine masculine is fighting for this love that he has for this feminine energy. Now, there could be a layer here where there are some masculines who have had a past marriage and released completely the distorted feminine. There could have been a cutting, conniving feminine energy that masculine was trying to choose between, and he has released that and fought for his true love, right? Fought for his heart, what his heart desires. So that could be a layer that's happening here as well. But I really feel like this is about the divine feminine's defensiveness, about her cutting out the masculine energy, because that has recently happened in the collective. And divine masculine now feels that he is fighting to get his queen to be discerning and understanding and less reactionary. This is the Six of Pentacles in reverse, clarifying the Two of Wands. This is what he has kept divine feminine waiting for, reciprocity. He has not been able to give her what she has been giving him. So he is fighting now to correct this, to shift into a giving energy so that he can have this Queen of Wands back, that so that she will be attracted to him, so that she will mirror his feelings of attraction that he has for her. He's also trying to cultivate his own confidence. He's trying to allow this inner fire and passion to move him to make this decision, to be brave enough to fight against whatever shit he's had to endure so that he can actually see the feminine, see his way to the feminine, and then, wow, this is crazy. Two of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. Nutty. And this is in union now. So divine feminine headspace is in union with masculine heart space. And masculine heart space is basically focusing on the imbalance and thinking there's this feeling that feminine is now juggling or potentially juggling. He wants this even give or take. That was above here, right? He's wanting to decide to have an even give and take, to stop juggling whatever energy he had from the past and truly balance the scales. But he has to decide to leave this Nine of Wands energy, to leave the victim mentality that he has been in, to come out of isolation, to finally allow the healing of these wounds that have kept him in a state where he has been feeling so much guilt for how divine feminine has experienced their relationship. I need some coffee. Okay. That actually went kind of fast today, but we have a bunch of oracles. So let's go do that. Divine feminine, we will start with you. You right now are in the shadow attributes of the guide. You are placing financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. Now, this can be because you are, personally for me, this is, I'm working, like my yesterday when I was like, maybe I should just do readings now. I was like, no, you don't just do readings. You're not a readings factory. Incidentally, I'm glad I said that because I just want to say this for the future. For the next couple of months, maybe even only a month, you're going to have the opportunity to book personal readings with me at pearlsprayers.com for the current prices. I'm going to say after the new year, we'll give it to the new year. After the new year, I will not be offering hour-and-a-half long personal readings for the price that they currently are. I will be doing a pre-recorded version like I do for the Tell Me Everything and the 3-card pulls, because I'm finding that I can't do as many personal readings because I end up working with people in more of a client sort of a way, which takes a lot more commitment and time from me and the party that I'm working with. So you'll still be able to get personal readings, but you just won't be able to interact with me during the reading. You'll have to send me questions afterwards because it just takes me too long. I go over an hour and a half and I can't do it. So come the new year, if you want a personal reading with me, either in person in Los Angeles, or if I'm there, I'm actually moving back to the East Coast, but wherever I am, or virtually, the price is honestly going to be probably 2 times as much as it is right now. So that is going to be happening after the new year. So if you want the opportunity to get a personal reading from me right now for the current price, you got a couple of months. There is all of the different styles of readings are right on pearlsprayers.com, tuned in tarot under booking. Okay, but last night I had this feeling of like, oh, I should go do these readings. I'm like, no, you're not a readings factory. You're not just, you just want to do work because you just don't want to sit with yourself and sit with your feelings and sit with your grief and sit with the uncertainty of not knowing what's going to come next and not knowing, if you don't feel interested in anyone else, how you're going to possibly ever be in any kind of relationship, right? So I think that there are some that might be just are placing financial gain and control over their spiritual insights right now because it's easier for them to focus on the material. If you are a reader or you are some kind of a healer and you have actually are resonating that you have been placing your financial gain over helping others, right? Which is that moment last night that I had. I'm like, it wasn't actually over financial gain. It was more over my mental state. It was like, I'll do readings because then I don't have to think about me. Instead of like, I'll do readings because I'm called to help others and serve them. And I only have a limited amount of energy to do that. And I shouldn't be like spreading that thinly because I'm trying to distract myself. That's like a personal gain thing, right? Because technically I don't receive any money when I do the free readings. I might get more bookings occasionally, but it's not like most people do not tip. So it's usually completely free, but it's like my mind would get value from not having to think about what I don't want to think about, right? What do I not want to think about? Well, I don't want to think about my divine masculine, who I can't stop thinking about, even if I'm avoid looking at him, which I am pretty much avoiding, thankfully, for the most part. Not entirely, but mostly. Wow, okay, we love that for us. Then we are in the light attributes of the mentor, which is interesting to be in the shadow attributes of the guide, but the light attributes of the mentor is what's making me feel that this really isn't about you imparting some kind of advice that isn't wholesome or meant to help people. You're actually really in your mentor energy. You might be mentoring rather than taking care of yourself right now. Maybe that might be happening like yesterday when I wanted to go mentor instead of taking care of myself. Okay. But you are passing on wisdom and refining your students' characters. You might have a mentor you might want to turn to right now that could give you some advice or help you out in some way. My darling angel, your guardian angel is here to help you go through this time of retreat. This is to take a vacation right away. Take a mental break. Take a vacation if you can possibly do it right away. Allow this time, retreat from these thoughts, retreat into yourself. Now, she looks pretty sad. She looks pretty dejected. And I think that you're afraid of kind of taking a break, like tomorrow's my day off and I dread it, because that's when you then have to feel the feelings. But if you can't feel it, you can't heal it. My energy creates my reality. What I focus on, I will manifest. Well, what have you been focusing on? The divine masculine and love. And what was the highest good today? It was love. So just relax. Relax and let go of who that divine masculine energy is supposed to be. Just let that go. That will free you. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. You know what? I've been feeling a lot of happiness lately. It's interesting because it's been in tandem with a lot of the sadness I feel about the lack of faith I have in my divine masculine. But my actual life is working out pretty well. I'm still needing to receive support from y'all. So please go click support and send me a deck and book the readings, because this is my job and I'd like to continue to do this. And I definitely rely on donations and bookings. So, but I'm able to ask for those things. I'm able to receive those things. I'm seeing my wealth kind of grow very slowly and steadily. And sometimes it grows really fast. But it's not diminishing anymore. It's just growing. So I'm really starting to see those shifts change because my faith has changed in some areas of my life. And then in other areas where I feel a lot of sadness, I recognize that's where I don't have a belief yet that my divine masculine is going to actually show up. And that makes me sad because I don't have faith. I have to develop trust with that masculine energy, which means I have to learn to trust myself, my ability to achieve material well-being, my ability to take action, my ability to be a guide, my ability to be protective, right? Provide, protect, etc. You are not in a cage, Divine Feminine. This Freedom card is showing you that that cage is an illusion of your thoughts. And I really feel like this is about freedom from this Nine of Swords, which came out in reverse in your heart space. You're freeing yourself of the general anxiety that used to keep you trapped in your life. And you're gaining a lot of confidence. And Saint Michael, the Archangel, is here to support you in your continued growth and expansion into the most authentic version of you that allows for this confident energy so that you can make these bold moves in your life. You are getting expect powerful change in reverse coming out in the same reading with the Wheel of Fortune. Definitely for me is a little bit of you resisting some kind of powerful change. There is something that you are currently resisting, in a state of resistance in, and you need to shift into and allow this change to occur. You're getting the Let It Shine message from Peacock Spirit, and it's the protection message, which came out with the Star card also in reverse. So I'm actually going to read that protection message to you. And I can't believe you got the same shamanic medicine. Girl, you better do it. Let's see. 46. Are you afraid of dancing with abandon because of what others might think? Do you think you may be punished if you shine too brightly? Have you been conditioned to expect a hurt if you show yourself fully to the world? Maybe not everyone will celebrate your beautiful radiance when you shine. That's okay. Peacock Spirit is here to remind you that while others may resist celebrating the beauty within them, although they may contract while you expand and shake your tail feathers, smile and keep dancing anyway. Model the good fortune and abundant joy that is yours, and soon someone will say, "Me too," and join you. Spirit loves you so much and wants you to enjoy the dance and shine your light. And that's why, sunshine, I don't want you to wait. Because if you're waiting to dance and you're waiting to enjoy your life and you're waiting to get out there and take advantage of the good fortune that you're getting, you're not interested in anyone right now. But what if somebody that's like 20,000 times more attractive and better and amazing than your divine masculine walks into the room? Because that happens. Like, our twin isn't like the end all be all of attractive counterparts. It's just like one in a sea of people. And it's really the one that's designed to make us the most insane. Like, there are other options that are going to come in that are going to flow so easily that your head is going to spin. And if you're not dancing and out there and ready to see them when they come, then you won't have interest in anyone else. And you'll just be waiting for a person that's not going to be able to join you because you haven't yet joined this dance, this celebration, right? Dating other people does not block your twin from coming in. I don't believe that. I believe, because the proof is in the pudding. Most twin flames were already in other relationships when they met and had to leave the relationships. Like, so it's like, if you're worried that if you're going to be with somebody and your twin's going to come and then, oh no, now I'm going to have to break up with the stop worrying about that. First of all, your twin may never come. And that is a very, very hard truth that you have to embrace. Because if you don't, you will never let your light shine. You will never try to fulfill your own wishes. And you will have to do this all over again. Start right at the beginning. A whole new set of circumstances, just as tumultuous, just as painful, because you signed a soul contract that you would learn how to love yourself, not the twin. We just talked about this yesterday with Grace Strega. You do not learn how to love your twin on the twin flame journey. Nope. That's not the outcome of the journey. You learn to love yourself. And waiting for somebody to see how great you are is not loving. That person knows how great you are. they don't feel great. And you don't feel great because you're not doing all the things you could possibly do that would let you shine. So don't wait anymore. I strongly encourage you to get out there and start seeing other people as soon as you feel comfortable doing it. And if you start to get ready and it doesn't happen because your twin comes in, great. But if you never get ready to go have dates and go see other people and have romance and have love, I fear you will never be ready for the twin either. So it's a really hard thing, but you've got to face that. This doesn't mean you have to have tons of sexual partners. You don't have to do that. I personally, sex is very sacred to me. I'm a Venus and Virgo and I'm Catholic. Like, I carry a lot of guilt over that act when it's outside of marriage, no matter how elevated I am in my brain. And I do understand the reasons why it's encouraged to be in a union when you have sacred sexual interactions. So I think definitely you're really wanting to, when you start to heal the heart wounds, to get out and let your light shine. Let me read your message. I'm not sure if he's a twin flame. I was in a relationship with best friend. I think this is social friend. Yeah, that might be true, but it doesn't matter what his reasons are. It doesn't matter. Listen, I can't say what it is, but it's worse than that for my situation, and they found a way to love me anyway. So just don't let that be the thing. It's not your thing. There's no external reason for the person not to choose you outside of their own internal shit that needs to be sorted out. Commitment issues, period. Are you going to wait for this? There are men who never, ever deal with this, ever. They never do. They never deal with it. They die never having dealt with their commitment issues. They either don't get married or they cheat in their marriages and they cause them to fall apart. They have multiple marriages. Many people, men and women, never deal with commitment issues. What's holding him back is commitment. That's it. Committing to somebody that he loves. Or he doesn't feel the same. Reciprocation, which means you are giving to somebody who's not giving back to you. So definitely heal the wounds. Take the time that you need. You don't have to go date anybody right now, but take the time that you need to heal the wounds to allow yourself to get into a place where you do have interest in someone who matches you. Because there is no one person story. That was Disney's story to keep little girls virginal. So little girls will just marry one man. That's where that story comes from. And it's a way for in a patriarchal society, for the patriarch of the family to protect the dowries that were given out, right? To protect property, to protect the lineage, the legacy, the family line. The story of the one, how come men don't have one love? Why is it permissible for them to have sexual freedom? Because they don't get pregnant. They can just walk away, right? It's not going to kill them. They might not possibly die from having a baby like a female will. It's a lot more serious for us. So the one story, if you can dissolve that in your brain somehow, it will help you so much, because there isn't just one. There isn't. Everybody has unique experiences with every single person. So every person you're with is the one version of themselves that you experience. And your relationship is one version of that experience. So if you end up with somebody, they're the one because that's the one experience you're having at that point. That's the only way that I can relieve you from that burden. And this is the medicine that the feminine is getting again. So again, you're being told, collect the memories from this person, from this past experience as a treasure, right? This is like a 6 of Cups kind of a feeling for me, because it's like take the good stuff, collect it as a treasure. There's shadow in the bag too, which shows you what you want now. Like when you have stuff that happens that you don't want, now you know what you do want. God damn it. I really want to get to this page. Thank you. This says, allow old memories to surface, right? This is what I'm preventing from happening for me. Remember the past fondly. Look through pictures. Not looking. Look through pictures, photographs, and other memorabilia to reconnect you with the feelings that make you you. Gather tools that enhance who you are and can assist you on your path. So, Divine Feminine is being called to reawaken the bliss and love she feels for her counterpart, because and this feminine doesn't want to do it because I don't want to feel the grief, but if I don't feel it, I can't heal it, right? So feminine, you're being called to find all of the good things about this relationship, this past relationship, and really go deeply into those things and let them show you all the wonder that is present there for you. And as you do that, if you surrender to the divine and let the divine lead you, that's going to lead you into alignment. If you surrender to your fear about how you can't have that anymore, or it will never be like that, or there will be nobody that's like that, or nobody will let you feel this way, etc., that's where you will go. So your job is to be able to navigate the memories, feel unconditional love, love yourself by finding all of the things that really brought you joy and giving those things to yourself now in this moment. And then your theme that you have to work on for this week, it's what Divine Masculine is really feeling he would love from you. He wants a clean slate. This is the Fool energy. He wants you to come with a beginner's mind, right? So Sunshine, you have a certain belief about what is keeping the two of you together. Let that belief go. Start with a fresh mind. Maybe that isn't what's keeping him. Maybe it was something else and he's able to work through that. But have a beginner's mind and take the leap. Take the leap. Now, taking the leap doesn't mean you leave behind all the gains that you just got. It's that you realize your power, your worth, your emotional stability, all those things that you got, and you carry that with you into holding the space 8:22 on the clock for this union, for that physical manifestation of the Two of Cups, which is, we are being told, in the highest good. Now, this is a Bible's worth of oracles, Divine Masculine. So any hope I had of getting out of this under an hour and a half, slim, my bro. What are you doing? Divine Masculine's needing a lot of help today. Why? Well, you know what? I can't yell at him because he is in the light attributes of the victim. I was going to say, oh, is he a victim? No, he's not. He is preventing himself from letting himself be victimized or victimizing others. So he is coming out of this victim mentality. He is in the light attributes of the mediator, which is gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life and a respect for both sides of the argument. And he's in the light attributes of the father, which is talent for creating and supporting life and a positive guiding light within tribal units. So here is the story. There is a clear story for some of us here in the collective that there was a divorce with children involved. That has come up before. And so for some of us, this is true. And these cards coming out together show me that Divine Masculine has stopped playing the victim in the negotiation process of that divorce. So I think I brought this up a little while ago where the masculine energy was feeling salty about having to deal with the past, like giving his financial well-being to his ex-wife, like in some kind like support or whatever. And I was comparing my own masculine energy where I have to pay my very wealthy ex-husband child support because he was a financial abuser and somehow got the court system to force me, even though I have made mostly less than until this past couple years. I've been okay the past couple years, but prior to this, I would make less than $12,000 a year, and I would have to pay $134 every 2 weeks to him. And he makes like 200 some thousand a year. So whatever. Anyway, so I was really salty about that. Instead of thinking about it as, no, I would think about myself as the financial abused victim, right? Instead of thinking of myself as an empowered feminine energy that can support my child, which is a totally different thing. So Divine Masculine has done some kind of work here where he is now, instead of being this victim, he is mediating between the two parties, probably this past energy and the feminine energy. He's negotiating something, and he's maintaining he's doing this. He's being a good father, basically, but he's no longer waffling between those two things. Between being a good father and being a good husband or a good lover or whatever. He's actually doing well in terms of mediating and probably appeasing this other energy, but not at Divine Feminine's, what do I want to say? I can't think of the word I want to say. I can't think of it. Divine Feminine is going to benefit from it. She's not gonna. God damn it! I can't think of a phrase I want to say. Okay, Guardian Angel, move. Will you just move, Divine Masculine? Will you just move? Now my masculine energy is moving. I'm packing. I'm getting my car together. I have a car that I'm gonna buy from some friends. It's actually nice. It's a Range Rover, and I'm pretty excited about it. But it's like an old one, but I don't care. And I'm just packing it up, and I'm moving on out. So it's time to move, make moves in your life, Divine Masculine. Maybe actually there is a relocation that is being planned. Embrace that happiness is your birthright. This I sometimes change this to contentment, because you want sadness too. All the feelings, all the emotions, all these things, those are your birthright. Well-being is your birthright. Friendship, which is 3 of Cups energy in reverse, and family in reverse. So we've got, for me, a feeling that Divine Masculine's third party is his family. And he's really wanting the union. He really wants to be able to celebrate and blend these families together. And is feeling very challenged in this. But these are messages of guidance. So this is like, these things are not mutually exclusive, Divine Masculine. You can have both things. You can have the union, you can have the celebration, you can have this with the feminine and still have your family. Wow. Oh, look at all these fucking cards. Come on. Don't let your past hold you back, Divine Masculine. A win-win outcome is forecast. You keep getting this balancing cards here, and bring love to the situation. Divine Masculine is dealing with, some Divine Masculines are dealing with legal issues in the court system still. Some are done with it, and they're dealing with how to navigate the aftermath. Some are still experiencing it. This to me is Divine Masculine. If you don't bring love to the situation, everybody's going to lose. Because these were in reverse. And it's saying, don't let what you've done in the past hold you back. In the past, you've refused to bring love to the situation. Right? And everyone lost. So if you want everyone to win, how do you win? The overall theme of today, love. You're under the misconception that if you go into this relationship with the person that you love, that the rest of the world will be disrupted around you. And what you're not realizing is that it is the stability of this loving relationship that will allow you to finally have a stable experience of all the chaos that's been happening around you. You are getting the protection message of otter spirit. You are never alone. And divine masculine is definitely feeling alone. Have you been channeling all your affection to just one person, or counting on only one friend or individual to hold you up, heedless of your resources all around you? You deserve support and love from many people, and when Otter Spirit arrives, you are reminded that you have a community. Somewhere is another friend who wants to experience the joy of giving to you and seeing your happiness as you receive their gift of affection, attention, and kindness. Otter Spirit wants you to open your eyes to see the love that is available to you from all directions. Do you believe it? Do you feel it? Reach out to someone and you will see what they want, that they want to hold your hand as much as you want to hold theirs. Love, support, and friendship are available to you. So connect with community and friends. Divine Masculine, I really feel that for you, this is about the feminine energy. Do you reach out to someone and you will see that they want to hold your hand as much as you want to hold theirs? And for the feminine energy, I believe that this is for you, is what I was saying in the beginning to Sunshine, which is you need to get out there and allow others to connect with you, right? When you do that, you encourage that masculine energy to do the same. This is your masculine energy inside of yourself that's like, go get it. And the masculine inside of your person is like, go get it. That's why it's linked together. Masculine, you're getting new medicine today that I don't think I've read before. This is called endurance. And it's four-legged, it says, is the name of this medicine. Animal spirits have walked with you since your birth. They protect, guide, and wish to remind you that you can call upon their medicine at any time. They are offering you the endurance you need to carry on. They may also come to you in the physical form, so look out for visitations from a four-legged, such as a cat, dog, deer, or horse. They can turn up at any time with a meaningful message, and it is wise to acknowledge them as well as any four-legged animals that appear from the spirit world. Just because these power or totem animals aren't in their physical form doesn't mean they don't exist. Their energy lives in the other worlds, and they are very much alive. This card reminds you to ask for assistance and to be open to the animals around you. Hone their energies as they offer you the medicine they hold as a helping hand. Call upon the four-legged who can give you the strength required to push forward now. Four-legged ones have always been our faithful friends and animal totems. Within many shamanic traditions, it is believed animal spirits walk with us from the time we are born. Their power, coupled with that of the shaman, is powerful medicine indeed. They aid in self-discovery and are a big part of our lives, seen and unseen. You have a special gift and affinity with animals. Consider working with animals in some form. Your power animal is waiting to meet you in dreams and through meditation. An animal would benefit from your company and healing work. Four-legged speaks. I'll greet you from the other side. Journey within. Go for a ride. Endurance requires strength and valor, rather, but they spelled it wrong. It comes to you. Hear lions roar. All right. So four-legged, interesting because four, of course, is about stability. We're seeing the spirit animals that are here. We've got the bison, the horse, the stag, the wolf, and it looks like the lion. So these are all like incredibly powerful animals that are very present. This is to me about loyalty and solid presence. It's like pulling on the strength of all of those power animals to allow you to be able to persevere and endure through this challenge, through the challenges you're going through. Your theme, what the fuck? Your theme for the week is the Two of Pentacles. If you doubt the magic of these readings, you cannot. So, Divine Masculine, it is time to make a decision, to choose your twin, right? The yin yang, to balance. Make a choice. All right, these are the final closing cards for the union. The two of you right now are in the light attributes of the beggar, which means you've dealt with the Five of Pentacles, which is significant to me because as I was shuffling the Ostara Tarot, I saw the Five of Pentacles kind of almost start to come out. I was like, no, it was in reverse, but I was like, oh, I don't want it. And then I kept shuffling and I was like, well, if it comes out, it comes out. And it didn't. And so I think it's funny that I saw it in its reverse, which is like releasing it. I was really resistant to it. I was like, really? We're not dealing with that, are we? And then the universe is like, no, we're not. Right now, you are confronting empowerment at the level of physical survival. You are awakening the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. That is wonderful. And because of that, you are triumphant. This is the Six of Wands, victory, public recognition. It's a unicorn. It's a special, incredible event that you are triumphing over. The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. Forget what you think you need. It's 1:11:55 on the timer over there. Damn. Forget what you think you need. That is the thing that holds us back the most. We think we need a certain person. We think we need a certain career. We think we need a certain, permutation of events. But just forget what you think you need. Understand that you asked for something that you maybe didn't even understand. You felt bad and you wanted to feel better. Or you really loved something and you wanted more of that, right? And maybe you don't even know what it was about that thing that you wanted, but you're just like, oh God, I really don't want this anymore. Or, oh my God, I love this so much. Thank you. It's so amazing. The universe is constantly conspiring to bring you the essence of what you need. And what you need was only just touched upon in whatever experience you had. There's layers that you're not even aware of. So trust the universe. You both have a lot of talent. And when this comes up for the both of you, it indicates that you might be talented similarly or could collaborate or enhance or support each other in your talents. It also takes a lot of practice to take a talent and make it something that is professional. And so I feel like there is that, like you have a talent for navigating this journey together and you're becoming experts. Surrender to the divine. Just surrender. Then we're getting Beaver Spirit in reverse, and this is the protection message. This is usually when we've got some rotten wood in there, I think. Let's get a look. This is 6. This is a lover's energy too, actually. Beaver Spirit has come to warn you to check for rotten wood in the foundations of your dreams. Perhaps you built your hopes on faulty promises or wishful thinking that something would work out just because you wanted it to. Maybe you made choices from a place of unworthiness, hoping that once you got what you desired, it would somehow change you and make everything better, and you had to face the truth that it didn't. Or Beaver Spirit may be telling you it is time to accept things as they are and perhaps consider abandoning the project, relationship, or situation so you can make room for something better. Perhaps you need to go back and rebuild a solid foundation because what you desire may not be in alignment with what your soul intends. Beaver Spirit says you can always get busy and build something fresh and new if the desire is true. All manner of miracles can spring up from a new, strong foundation when you remember your partnership with Spirit. Be clear about what you're building and why, choosing from a place of worthiness, well-being, and wholeness. Self-understanding and acceptance will provide you with a solid blueprint to begin again. Get busy now. Beaver Spirit says this is not a time to procrastinate, but a time to start building again, always mindful of the foundation you are laying, trusting that Spirit is co-creating with you. Poignant. And the medicine you're getting is completion. It's the Shaman. And I think we've read the Shaman a couple times, but let me just look and see what the divinatory messages are. Okay, the role of the shaman is to access knowledge and wisdom as a seer, a spirit doctor, a negotiator, and ceremonialist. You are being called upon to bring about harmony, balance, and wholeness. Whether you call yourself a shaman, healer, witch, priest, elder, magician, or druid, you are walking the path of an ancient tradition that was not split into separate teachings but incorporated everything into one philosophy and one way of life. Perhaps you have forgotten your life purpose and are being called to walk the shamanic path. Taking on the shamanic journey will restore your balance, make you whole again, and help you to heal others. You may have become disconnected from your soul and be lacking vision or the perception of who you are, why you are here, and what life is about. Look beneath the surface and you will discover a living tradition that flows through your blood and bones. As your ancestral memory awakens, you will journey through time, completing full circle to become one who knows, whole and complete. So to me, this is you're achieving this completion. Like you were on this journey where you were separate and you're coming now into that union inside of self. And feminine is fully there. She's fully there. And so is masculine. Right? He had a lot of union too. Which is why this isn't about physical union. It's about being triumphant that you have achieved union inside of yourselves. And this is the theme. This is the final closing message. So please, at this point, go to pearlsprayers.com, click support. Even a couple dollars helps me. You know, if 100 people watch and I get $1, it's almost as much as I would be for a personal reading for me. And there's a place where you can send me decks so I can have new imagery. Please listen to my music. My track just came out in July. It's me, Babe. It's pretty great. And stay tuned. The website is going to be undergoing some changes, the ones I mentioned earlier about the readings, but also just more accessible, more clear. It's going to get a lot easier to navigate when you go to the Tuned In Tarot page. So stay tuned for that. This is the theme that you need to deal with for this week. This is the 9 of Wands. It is a card that we already saw today twice on both sides. For the masculine, it was in reverse. For the feminine, we saw it upright. It is a card that is about being isolated, healing our wounds, but it's about dealing with issues with victim mentality. It is about preparing to unburden. It's about getting ready and preparing to get to that 10 of Wands energy where we finally drop the burden or the responsibility, right? And for I believe the isolation to end, you have to go into it and feel it and be in it. So this week, working on healing those deep wounds, particularly the ones that keep us in a state of victim mentality, right? Like the example with my paying child support. I'm the victim of a financial abuser, or it's 8:44 on the clock. I am an empowered provider for my son. Those are two very different things. And it's funny because it gave me a lot of pleasure to be a victim and talk about how unfair the situation was. But I bet you it will give me even more pleasure to be able to just pay that amount of money without thinking about it, because it's such a minimal amount of money to me, because I have so much more wealth and abundance than that person who lorded it over me in our marriage. And then afterwards, for the years since we've been divorced. So is the victim feeling, I'm licking my wounds. It's so unfair. Is that going to feel as good as me showing up in my Range Rover to pick up my son and all of his shit and be like, hey, guess what? In the state of Massachusetts, when my son is 15, he doesn't have to live with your abusive ass anymore. Now you have to pay me child support because I'm coming back to the state that I didn't want to live in because I felt too weak to live in the same place as you. But now I'm stronger and I'm more empowered and I have my own shit and I don't give a fuck. Which one seems more fair to me? And I chose to be empowered, right? So get out of the victim consciousness, heal whatever wounds have kept you trapped there, and get ready to have a good time because you're in union. All right. I hope that these messages helped everybody today. And I hope that I will see you again on Wednesday morning here on Tuned In Tarot. We will be doing Obstacles Removed, which is such a great spread. And I will probably be doing some TikTok mini readings later today. So if you want to try to catch a personal reading from me, I don't know what time, folks. I'm going to say sometime in the afternoon before it gets too dark in my apartment. So before like 5 o'clock and after 1 p.m., I don't know, somewhere in there. But just stay tuned, turn on notifications, I guess, over there. I don't know. Can you do that for TikTok? I have never done that. But turn on notifications for that. Turn on notifications here for YouTube so you know when I'm going live each morning, since I'm a Pisces rising and I just go whenever the fuck it feels like I should. And I shall see you again on, I'm just going to be on YouTube all the time. I'm not doing Instagram except for on Sundays with Grace Draga. So you'll see me either on YouTube or TikTok from now on. All right, take care. I shall see you soon. Bye.